personal experience speech for Fundamentals of Speech class. I'd like you to meet my audience first. For my personal experience speech, I chose to talk to you about my experience when I went to Marine Corps boot camp. This all started at a very young age. I want to say around like 7 years old. I just out of the blue decided that that's what I wanted to do. I needed to go into the Marine Corps. So when I graduated high school, I had already talked to a recruiter, joined the delayed entry program, which is where you get to join a year prior to graduating. And at that point, after I graduated high school, I left the very next day. My recruiter brought me up to Albany, where you start your receiving process, filling out paperwork, going through medical exams, getting shots, and all the good stuff. And from there, we were a whole bunch of guys. We're all bussed down to Parris Island. I'm not sure if anybody has ever been to Parris Island. A couple things I would like to tell you about that place is it's hot and very humid in the summer. And there are a lot of sand fleas. Alright, but one thing that they do, of course, is to add to your stress and anxiety is bring you down in the middle of the night and you get to stand on those yellow footprints where you first meet drill instructors, and they come out yelling, and they yell a lot, and it stresses you out. And what happens when you get stressed out? You start doing things wrong. Of course. You start doing things slowly. Of course. And what that does is allows them to tell you to do it over and over again. If you didn't do it fast enough, if you did not do it correctly, you will repeat the entire process of whatever they were asking you to do. So when you first get there, you go through a bunch of things. First, of course, being yelled at. Second, you're going to get your hair cut completely off. You're also going to get your uniforms and whatever gear that you are required to have during your stay at Parris Island. To start the process off, after you're receiving, you go ahead and you're assigned to a certain platoon. I was in 3rd Platoon, 3073. Which is kind of far back in the woods. There was a whole lot of Parris Island that after that night I never saw and didn't even know existed until I left. So being back there, you're kind of excluded. You start learning a lot of stuff all at once, and Marine Corps boot camp is 3 months long, which seems like a long time, but the amount of stuff that you're learning, it should be a lot longer. So you start learning about Marine Corps history. You learn about first aid, basic first aid, stuff like that. You learn their martial arts program. You learn how to, of course, fire a weapon, which is very important. When I went through and fired the weapon during the rifle portion, I was actually the company high shooter, which was pretty exciting for me. You also learn stuff like land navigation, survival skills, stuff like that, that's going to prepare you to be a Marine. While all this is going on, of course, you're being yelled at the whole time, so don't forget that. Very important. You're learning how to do everything that is asked as a team. This seems like it might be fairly easy, but you got to remember that all these people that you're there with, you're just meeting. Right? So in 3 months' time, you have to take somebody that you have just met and figure out how to do every single thing with them. So the process goes on. You're learning a whole lot of stuff, and then you get toward the end. You start taking written tests, getting ready to get out, and you go through your crucible, which is 3 days of basically surviving, taking what they taught you and utilizing it. You also go through your final fitness test to make sure that everything they've done has prepared you to become the very best Marine that you can be. And right at the end, you go through your graduation ceremony, family can come down. And one thing I'd like to add before I close on this is my family almost didn't make it on Parris Island because I left at the end of June, and 3 months later was September. All right, September 2001, when we were struck by a terrorist attack. One thing with that, and I'm sure everyone experienced it that was there, was you have this realization when you join the military of any branch that one possibility is that you may have to go to war. And when September 11th happened, number one, when they first started telling us, I thought it was a joke because you're so stressed out and confused the whole time. And when it started to hit everybody, we were feeling all sorts of emotions, of course, anger, being scared, anxiety of what's going to happen now. So that kind of concluded my experience with boot camp, and off we went, going out to learn our jobs. So that was basically my experience with boot camp. There's a whole lot more to it, but that's about as much as I can give you in this amount of time. Thanks for watching.